My friend Mike Mutter here, my dear friend Mike Mutter, thank you very much for opening up your home tonight for Mike Chapman, who's running for I'd also like to recognize a couple of Republican leaders we have here in the room tonight. We've got Delegate Tag Greason, who's with us. He's going to be speaking in a few moments. We have Ralph Buona, who's running for Ashburn Supervisor. Commonwealth's attorney. John Ryan, who's running for Ashburn School Board. Do we have anybody else? Am I missing any other elected officials here? Nope. Then I'll turn it over to Delegate Tag Greason, who's going to make the introduction for Mike Chapman for Loudoun County Sheriff.
Mike, thanks for opening your home. Very much appreciate it. I will be very brief because you didn't come here to hear me, that's for sure. We came here to support our friend Mike Chapman. And congratulations on winning that nomination. You guys did a great job working as a team. Mike, keep her, right? Yeah, exactly. So I represent you all in the Virginia House of Delegates, and I've been there for 2 years. And when I started this thing several years ago, I thought to myself, I'm going to Richmond to try to represent you so that we can do two things very clearly. One is we need to keep the size of government very limited. We need to do it for two reasons. In my opinion, if a government tries to be all things to all people, it ends up being nothing to nobody. And we ultimately need to make sure we focus on some very core functions down in Richmond. And to me, those core functions are things like education. John? We're looking forward to what you're going to do on the school board. Transportation is certainly a big one for all of us. Healthcare, not talking about Obamacare, but certainly we have a responsibility as a government to provide healthcare in some form or fashion. And public safety. And public safety is a huge part of what we do as a government. And having the right sheriff at the local level to work with the Commonwealth Attorney and the other elected officials is absolutely imperative. And I told Mike early on that I thought he did a fantastic job representing himself and what he's going to do when he becomes our next sheriff. We had a personal conversation about the other people in that particular race, and I thought he and Vern Dickerson did an absolute fantastic job in running for sheriff. And Vern, I appreciate everything you did standing up and being part of that process. But in the end, I think Mike did an excellent job and gave us a preview of what he's going to do as our sheriff when he gets elected in November. And so we're going to be here with you. I think we've all done this now. You guys have been to a number of these events. I'll tell you, the best way to get Mike to be our sheriff is to go home and then tell 3 people about this event and make sure they tell 3 people about the event. And in November, they're here on the dime with 10 of their friends to vote for Mike Chapman as our next sheriff. I'd like to introduce him at this time because he's the man of the hour.
Thank you, Tag. I have to, as well, first let's start by thanking my wife, Ann, and all that she puts up with and has over all these years with all the stuff that we've done. We found out just about a week and a half ago that we're going to be grandparents. My oldest daughter. So we're excited about that. You know, I like the team that we've had, and our team is growing, and the support keeps growing. And I think about when we started out, and you know, it started out with a year ago, Chris Harmison and I in a conversation, and then you know, Liz came on board, and people, you know, and I'd be at the office and talking with Eric Ciliberti, and we're talking about all these different things that we want to do. And then as we went along, and Ed came on the team, and Brian Reynolds, and Vern, and Barbara Dixon was there right from the start when we were doing all this stuff. I mean, it's just been great. It's been so exciting to see everybody just really coming together. I can't tell you how excited I was, and the paper quoted me wrong. I said I elated. I did not say I elated. I said I am elated. But they kind of got me, or maybe they got me in a bad grammatical situation there, but we were just so excited and to bring everybody up on stage, and we didn't really bring everybody up on stage. We brought about as many people as we could, you know, because everybody believes in what we're doing and what the mission is here, and what we're trying to do is we just really need to move this county forward. I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to that are with the Sheriff's Department and other people in the county that'll tell you, hey, look, it's, you know, the current sheriff, his time has come, and it's come and gone. I mean, it's time for some fresh thinking, some innovative ideas. And we started out, and Chuck Manning couldn't make it tonight. Chuck does a lot of the graphic work, has helped out really from the start. And if you look at some of the early postcards that we sent out and the step-up graphics that we did that really kind of started to kind of set a tone for the campaign, Chuck had a lot to do with that and has been very, very helpful along the way. And I can tell you the conversations that we would get in, and we tried to figure out how to move things forward. And we talked about Step Up. And first it was going to be STP, and I thought, well, you know, service, technology, and professionalism. And I thought, hey, STP, that's great. And I talked to my old police chief, and he says, Mike, nobody but our age group is going to know what STP is. I said, well, there's got to be something else we can put in there. And I said, it's efficiency. We need efficiency in this department. So we came up with that, and it's been something that's actually really stuck. And then, you know, and then when you start looking at some of the more core problems here, you got drugs, illegal immigration, and gangs, which is kind of at the root of that. And one of the things I know, and Jim and I have talked about this, Jim Plowman, about drugs being the one thing that kind of carries over across the board with all these other problems. It's something that I've seen in my career from the time when I was a detective in Howard County and arrested one of the biggest burglars that the county had ever seen, and the guy was a heroin addict, and he would just break into houses all day long and just steal one thing after another. And it was because he was a junkie and he needed to support his habit. So it works down to that level, to the drug traffickers, and all you see what's going on in Mexico and these people that are killing each other left and right. I think the body count up there now is up to like 40,000 or so in just the past 2 years. I mean, so there's a lot of violence. There's a lot more that's associated with the drug problem than a lot of people see. And that's one of the things that we want to do, is just make sure that people are aware of how significant the drug problem is and how that impacts so many other things that are going on in the county. And these are the things that we're going to kind of bring out as we go along with this campaign. And I just can't tell you how excited I am, because I really am elated. So it's really exciting, and to see everybody there, and the people that showed up as delegates and the people that supported in any other way. I mean, it was a very humbling experience, and I can't tell you how good it made me feel, and all the hard work, and you know, all the parties, all the functions, all the fundraisers, all the things that we had to do to get there. Something else I think is important that you know is that my competitor in the last couple months there, in the last reporting period, he spent $45,000 of his own money to actually lose in the primary, and he probably spent close to that in the 6 months before that. And we spent up to that point maybe $12,000. And so if that's any indication of the way we're going to run the budget when I get in there as sheriff, I think it is. I think we're going to be very conservative. We're going to make sure that we spend our money wisely, and that we bring the best service that you can possibly have in the county, and we're going to move this county forward into the 21st century. So I just want to thank everybody for all the support. It means a lot to me, and any help, all the help that you've given me, and any more that you can give, I really appreciate it. We still got a ways to go here. We've got to take on a 16-year incumbent. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to do it, and we're going to win this thing. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.